top of that, we come from a real environment where it's a crab in a bucket mentality, where, you know what I mean, everybody doing bad. So when one person starts to move forward and you know, become a little bit successful, but you still within reach of these people, it's very hard, because, you know, you're dealing with the pressures of trying to be successful, as well as the pressure of people intentionally waking up to try to bring harm your way. You know what I mean? And try to stop you from doing that. Because if I grew up on the same block you grew up on, and we had the same trials and tribulations, but you became successful and I became a failure, it made me feel a certain way about myself, because we had the same, we were dealt the same deck of cards. You know what I mean? So I feel like my success affect the people closest to me the most. A person that don't know me might root for me, you know what I mean, and be happy for me. The person that know me and come from the same environment and had the same cards dealt to them, that keep going to jail, don't have no money, never made their parents proud or their mama proud, never did anything that they could look in the mirror and be proud of. You know what I mean? It makes them feel a certain way, and it's intense. And that shit manifests into jealousy, hate, violence.
Welcome to the night section. So I didn't want to make this video too soon, but all of you guys have heard by now about the passing of Young Dolph, a legend whose come up was very similar to Nipsey Hussle's in terms of living and preaching about independence and ownership. And unfortunately, what they also had in common was having their life cut short due to the violence in the very place they called home. And the storyline didn't start with them. The scenario is as old as time. We saw stories like this in the Bible as an example. In the book of Genesis, about the two brothers Cain and Abel, both making offerings to God. And when God favored Abel's, Cain killed him solely because of his jealousy. And the lesson here was that jealousy kills, and the people that kill you won't be strangers or the boogeyman. It's usually the people around you or the people you grew up with, who tend to be the same people that feel personally attacked when you make it out of those unfortunate circumstances into something better. In the case of Dolph, it was him making it out of his hood and becoming a successful artist and entrepreneur. And it seems as though in hip hop, this is a continuous cycle of rappers getting killed in their own hood or city.
Haters out there, and it's always like that. Wherever you from, you will get hated the most. You know, most rappers die in their own city, man. It's a fact. And you know, you have haters who was in school with you, and they mad because they was in that third grade class with you, but they don't have the same hustle as you. You know, they hate you for no reason. They hate you for your success. If you was a local rapper and you didn't have much, they would love you. You know, and these people, you develop hatred in your own city. You know, if you go to Canada, you go to New York, you from Louisiana, you don't have hate, you don't have people want to hurt you because they don't know you.
Boosie understood very well that in order for him to thrive and even just continue to exist, he had to leave his hometown. And with these situations, we're talking about rappers who've come from a past where they were more likely than not in street gangs or affiliated with one. And unfortunately, in that life, it's not something that just ends when you leave or when you decide that you want better for yourself. This will follow you for the rest of your life, because chances are that you've created a lot of enemies in the process, whether intentional or not. Now, top that up with success, it seems like a death wish. And as a side note, getting targeted not only happens to rappers in their hometown, but we hear this happen all the time, wherever rappers go. We hear stories of rappers' tour buses getting shot up, where the shooter might have just missed, or video shoots or even drive-bys in a whole different state, which is basically saying that just because you don't return to your hometown doesn't mean you still can't get touched. I mean, leaving your hometown to never return will definitely decrease the chances, but this is just something that's unfortunately a part of hip hop, especially when you've come from a background where you had to do what you had to do to survive. According to Wikipedia, quote, a 2015 study concluded that murder was the cause of 51.5% of American hip hop musician deaths. The study noted that this figure refers primarily to premature deaths, as most hip-hop musicians have not yet lived long enough to fall into the highest risk ages for heart and liver related illnesses, end quote. Now that stat makes a lot of sense, because a lot of rappers we listen to, past and present, have come from backgrounds where rapping was their way out of their poverty-stricken environments. I mean, after all, if you have a criminal record, you don't have too many other options. But to get back on track, I'm not really sure if there is a solution to this other than moving out of your neighborhood, which is the best option for any rapper, any successful person, or anyone period that wants to do better and be better without having their life cut short. But the fundamental issue truly lies with the crabs in the bucket mentality. For every goal you want to accomplish, there will always be someone waiting on your downfall. If you're lucky, it might just be a hate comment, but worst case scenario, it can be your life. And as long as there are human beings roaming this earth, nothing's gonna change. All you can do is pray on it, and to the best of your ability, protect yourself in any way you can. And remember to never get too comfortable. Rest in power, Young Dolph. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Night Section